Freedom Front Plus has come out guns blazing in its manifesto for the 2024 elections. The party says, unlike the current administration, it wants to create a capable and reliable state. Freedom Front Plus Member of Parliament Corne Mulder joins us on live to expand on the manifesto, which was launched yesterday. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. We heard party leader Peter Groenewald yesterday saying that the governing party has essentially created embittered individuals, of course, just ironing out the vision for the Freedom Front Plus. What does the party promise over the next few years, should it be voted into power?
Yes, good morning, and thank you very much for the opportunity. As you are correctly pointing out, we are going into the election cycle now, and we are going to have a very important election coming up in May of the 29th. Now, we've said all along, if you take into consideration, South Africa's got more than 300 registered political parties. But we say that there are, to the most, 10 to 15, 18 players, and the Freedom Front Plus has been one of those since 1994. So our strategy and our message basically is it's time to build a better future for the citizens of South Africa. We think the current government failed, and we are seriously putting forward the whole notion that we can build a better future together. So the party basically focuses on 10 focus areas. And I say the economy would be very, very central in this whole process in terms of creating jobs, in trying to alleviate poverty, and to create equal opportunities for the citizens of Africa. And we've spelled out our policy with regard to 10 focus areas dealing with these issues and others.
And looking at some of the bold promises that were also put forward yesterday, amongst your proposals is one that comes with the scrapping of BEE, affirmative action, and all race-based quotas in all labor laws. What's the basis of this?
Well, the fact of the matter is, I think after so many years, we've seen that so-called black economic empowerment in the end ended up to be elite enrichment of the well-connected to the ANC. That's all it basically meant. It did not bring any assistance to the poor and to really give equal opportunity. So what we are saying is you cannot just, on a blanket kind of approach, say because of people's skin color, these people should be assisted and others not. We should have a different means of looking who are really in need across the spectrum of South Africa and create and accept the total reality of our country. So we understand that if we want to get the economy growing, we need to create those jobs, we need to create wealth, and that can be done, but by creating equal opportunities for everybody and assisting everybody across the spectrum that needs that kind of assistance.
You've also vowed to ensure that should you come into power, you'll be selling all state-owned enterprises. What would that serve?
Yes, the fact of the matter is that we believe that the state can play a certain role, but the idea of the state is we should have a much smaller government. The government is way too big. The government interferes in all spheres of life. What you need is a very small, effective, competent government, and allow private sector and allow citizens to use their creativity and to create wealth, and that can be done. So we are very much in favor of privatization of these entities, etc., etc. The Freedom Front Plus is realistic. We understand that no one single political party is going to defeat the ANC in this election and be able to form a majority. Any party that claims that is not telling the truth to the electorate, and the electorate should understand that. What is most likely going to happen is that the ruling party is going to go below 50%, and then we will need coalition governments, be that on national and in a number of the provinces as well. And the Freedom Front Plus will continue to play our role in these coalitions like we've done in the past as a reliable, constructive partner that can bring people together.
Yeah. 5 years ago, your party took a massive chunk of the vote from the DA in the Western Cape. And at the time, MPL in the Western Cape, Peter Murray, said that it was a show that the DA will have to up their game in the next 5 years. How do you think you'll fare this time around? Are you still confident in securing even more and making even more strides there?
Oh yes, absolutely. If we speak about the Western Cape specifically, I think the Western Cape people are underestimating the election that is coming up in the Western Cape. It is correct that the Democratic Alliance does have the majority on their own at the moment in the Western Cape. They've been ruling alone for the last couple of years. But I think that's going to change. It's not impossible that we will end up with a coalition in the Western Cape as well. The Freedom Front Plus has made huge strides into specifically some of the minority communities. But in the Western Cape, the coloured community is the majority community. But we've got huge support in that community, and we're making huge inroads, and I'm very optimistic and very positive. However, if the Democratic Alliance, and if we're going to have a coalition situation, the Freedom Front Plus will be a reliable coalition partner, and the electorate should understand and know that.
You speak about the coloured community. Just looking at the demographics on the basis of the Freedom Front Plus and who you represent, who do you think you represent, and is there any sort of shift in your representation?
Oh yes, absolutely, no doubt. If you look at the launch of the manifesto yesterday in Pretoria, it was a very well represented crowd from all sectors of society. There was a huge coloured component, there was some black component. Everybody in South African minorities participated because the party stands for the rights of minorities in South Africa. And although the coloured community is a clear majority in the Western Cape, they are also a minority in the totality of South Africa. So we are making huge strides and huge inroads. For example, in the Western Cape, in the local government election, in the last local government election in the Cape Town Metro, the majority of our candidates were not white. So the party will field a huge field of good candidates with a lot of potential, and I've got no doubt that we will be addressing the issues that are really important to the coloured community. I don't think the Democratic Alliance succeeded in doing that, and I think we need to bring that change, and we'll intend to do so. And if we go into a coalition, those will be also the kind of things that we will put on the table in the Western Cape.